Okay, beautiful. So, welcome everybody. This is Michelle Joy from Sovereign Souls, and I have with me a beautiful goddess, Radha. How do I say your surname, Radha? Is it Nyla?
Nelia? It's
Nelia.
like means from the Nile.
Oh, how am I? Well, that's
Yeah.
really in resonance for me, for a lot of reasons as well. From Radha Publishing House, and we just thought we'd get on and have a bit of a chat about her latest project, which is Stories of the Goddess, which is a beautiful multi-author project of which I'm really honored and super excited to be a part of. And because there's only, I think, is it two spots left, we really wanted to put the call out and to bring in the right women, the right goddesses who felt the soul call for this project and to let them know a little bit more about that. So, Radha, do you want to tell us a little bit more about the inspiration and a bit more about this project in general?
Absolutely. This project has been deeply seated within me. Um, Actually, it was first activated really strongly over a year ago. And I had made the cover for it and everything over a year ago. And I had purchased the original art, and it was quite an experience. And I knew that there was going to be women coming from all over the world to be part of this, like you're from Australia. And it was the first cover was a picture of women gathered in the forest and they're holding hands. And the reason why I love that is because I really felt in my heart and soul the urgency and the deep, deep longing and desire to be with my sisters and the frequency keepers and the women that I know are here, um, you know, here to move forward and bring forward these different frequencies. And when we come together, all of us, a certain frequency with everyone's frequency creates a whole new grid.
Hmm.
So I knew it was a really important book. But then I felt like, oh, I'm not sure about the cover. I knew it was a beautiful cover, and that was my vision. And so I put it aside for a year, and then I worked with the designer again, and we redid the cover, and that's a woman with a sword, and it's like really strong and powerful. She's a warrior of light, and I felt like that matched the energy, a lot more. Um, so I'm all about divine timing. I work with, creator source, and so I'm like, okay, it's okay if it's not time now because we always have more books that we're doing. So we put it aside, but it's divine time now. Now that I heard like the bell, the call, it was there, and I was like, okay, time to bring this back out. Let's go. And so I just imagine a pillar of light and all the women being in that pillar of light, and that we are coming together. And as I told you earlier, it's been a really sweet and slow process of getting to know each woman, her gifts, her frequency, and I've been loving it. I've been loving it. It's really like sweet, and it's really intimate. It's not rushed. It's not fast. This is not fast food. This book is going to be an activation. When someone holds the book, they're going to feel this energy coming from it. And when they open any chapter, they're going to get a certain frequency in it. So I feel really excited about the women coming forward and being part of this.
Yeah, I agree. It felt like when you first told me about it and when we jumped on a call and we discussed it. I mean, I saw the cover, the new artwork, and I was instantly drawn because I'm very visual when it comes to what I'm drawn to, that frequency of the cover. And I was like, oh, I need to be part of this. But then when we were chatting, I knew this was going to be a frequency activation from cover, like from the start of the book to the end, and each chapter with different goddess frequencies within, because we
Yeah.
all have our different goddesses and energies that we work with and that we resonate with. So everyone's going to get that. And even if there's two chapters where we're focusing on the same kind of ascended master or the same goddess, the way we perceive and come about that is going to be a different activation, which is what I love. So I can already feel the energy
Yeah.
from this book before we've even got it going. Do you know what I mean?
I feel it too. I was like, it's really about frequency. We're weaving, just like your background that really spoke to me. It's just like that. Each one is a light coming in, and it's weaving into this beautiful, bigger frequency. When we come together, so much magic can happen. And I think that's what it's all about. I've always been sort of um, an alpha lone wolf creatrix in the way that I create, but my heart and my soul are like, yeah, it's really time to encompass really what we talk about, the divine feminine sisterhood.
Yeah.
And also I think that I've made the intention that women that are part of this, like we're breaking the paradigm of the sisterhood wounds. So everyone can shine, just like that beautiful picture behind you. I see each light, it only enhances the fullness of all the light. So that's what we're here to do. Ultimately, we're part of a greater whole. And I see this as being a very healing project that unites our hearts and invites other women to come and join us. And what I'm really excited about too is each woman, yeah, as you said, has her own unique frequency, right? Her own gift. And so after her chapter, she'll have a full page with her picture and her bio and her link. And it's just going to be so beautiful. So I always say, get your bookmark
Mhm.
and then, make that your calling card, like make that into literally a card, put it in the book. And when you do your book events, that's an incredible way to share your chapter. And people actually love it. They're like, oh, it's your card. That's so cool. And it's multifaceted, the layers of what we're doing. For me, I've never been driven by trends or trying to be cool because those things come and go. Um, I've really asked that all the downloads that I get for the books are are really part of a bit bigger picture, beyond even the scope of what we think right now. And I also got the visual a long time ago that all the books they're for our generation now to help usher in this feminine codex that's really wanting to anchor in and reinstate and reactivate itself here, and it's bigger than any one person. It's all of us together. That's where the magic happens. And then also in the future, the people who are reading this book will be from the future too, and they're going to understand so much about where we came from. It's really part of a bigger legacy, I think. And that's I always think, I always feel like we're here creating history, right? Where we actually are recreating the books that really are going to be um, the new part of history, because it is said history will be completely rewritten because so much of it was false. And so now we're bringing the truth. We're bringing our truth, each individual's truth. And that is really special. So I'm very excited for what it will mean for our generation now, but also for those in the future.
Yeah, that is so beautiful. And I feel that because sisterhood has been distorted, it's
Yeah.
been lost, and it's time now for, as we leave old earth behind and move into a higher frequency, to bring that sisterhood and that unity consciousness back with women. And the other thing is that when we write in these kind of books, like I took part in a project last year where we shared our healing stories, and I have to tell you that it was one of the most cathartic experiences. So
Mhm.
writing our stories, having our expression unblocks the throat, unblocks the
Yes.
heart. It's very healing. It is
Yeah.
very liberating, and it dissolved a lot of my sort of ego, the self-consciousness that I was holding, because you put yourself out there,
Yes.
out, but it's a beautiful experience, and you realize that you can let go of a lot of that stuff that you were holding, especially as women, that we've held, kept our voices low for so long. We haven't
Mhm.
shone, and some of that's to do with the fact that we didn't want other women to think badly of us, or to judge us, or to be jealous of us, and all of that competition and things. Then it's time for all of that to go. So for the younger women, our future new earth, are not going to have to contend with.
No.
Contend with. We can pave the way, change the timeline. And it's I know this chapter for me is going to be another layer of healing. I can already feel it as I go through the process and I know what I want to write about. It's starting to swirl, within my solar plexus, my masculine that needs to be
Yes.
discussed. So I can't wait. I really can't wait. Can you
Wow.
tell us a little bit about how, because we've only got a couple of spots left.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how, if somebody was interested in coming on board and applying to be one of the authors, how would they do that, Rhonda?
So just reach out to us, radapublishing@gmail.com, and you can put that information below so people can just email us, and then we'll set up, you'll fill out an application, then we'll just set up a call. It's very friendly. We still have this beautiful intimacy where we get to really connect with each woman, like I said, and this isn't just writing a chapter in a book either, because it's actually a 6-month process. It's we're gonna be Each month we meet on a live call. Um, we're gonna meet and you can actually bring forward what you're working on, what you're working through, anything coming up. We work through different themes too, like we're gonna be working through some persecution wounds, because that's something really big for these frequency keepers. I know, because I did like 6 years of clearing with persecution wounds, and I did so much healing. And it's like an onion. It's like there's layers and layers of it. It's like not just like, oh, one quick fix. That's why we hold this container, and it won't be coming out till spring. So we have all this time together. We continuously meet, but it's not overwhelming either, because we just meet once a month. So it's that sweet spot where you get what you need and you get to move forward. And we're going to do a marketing class, and it's more than just a chapter. It's a writing journey, and it's a sisterhood, and it's also a writing program in some sense that we're deprogramming throughout this whole time.
Mm.
And each time that we meet, one sister is going to volunteer and do start the intro with a clearing or a healing or something like that. So it's really cool, because I was like, I want everyone to shine and share your gifts. And this is about feminine leadership, right? So each woman, you're already a feminine leader. So it's not like we're babying all the women. We know that you guys are incredible. We know that. That's why you're part of this. So we're so excited that each woman is stepping in, and we're hoping that it will lead to future collaborations and connections and sisterhood that will really last a lifetime, because that's really the intention. Like, this is meant to be. We've all met before in many lifetimes in the temples, and now it's just a beautiful reunion where we get to be like, woohoo, let's do this.
Yeah, it's such a supportive journey because, like you said, it's much more than the chapter, and that whole process, not just the writing, but the support, the mentoring, the evolution, the shedding of the layers through the calls and coming and putting yourself a little bit more out there. It's like you stepped through that as the
Yeah.
journey goes along. So by the time we get to March, when the book is released,
Mhm.
already been stepping yourself and
Yeah.
shining bigger and bigger. And I feel like that's a really beautiful way to evolve. You're not just going, okay, now we're out there and everybody can see what you've written. It's a real journey of support that goes through. So well done. I think that's it's something that you do a bit differently to other publishing houses, and I think that's it's I can tell the heart that has gone into this project and into all of your projects as well, in the
Thank
way
you.
you do this kind of structure. Um, and you know, it's it's also there's probably women out there, and I know that some of my even my clients and my tribe that don't see themselves as frequency holders or don't perceive themselves as healers or guides, but I know that they are because we all are.
Yes.
We all have codes, we all have our own unique codes. And I want to say to them that if it's a soul call, but there's or to everyone really, if there's a soul call, but there's a bit of pride, shame, less than those programs that are stopping you, and you know that that's the only thing stopping you, then that's a reason to go ahead because
Yes.
it will heal those so deeply.
Yeah.
Because that was happening to me with the last project. I was like, oh, even though I knew from a little girl that I was always going to write, and
Yeah.
I've had some spiritual, like psychics over the years, prophesize that I would write a book, and I knew that this stepping stone of multi-author books would be a good way to get my confidence up. But I was petrified, about
Hmm.
having it about my family and everyone reading it, and yet everyone has been so supportive. I've had family members buy the book.
Oh,
And it's a beautiful journey, and it's like you're sharing yourself. And then, so a lot of that stuff that we keep in the shadows that we're supposed to heal actually gets cleared by just going, oh, this is who I was, and this is what I've been through, and this is what I'm journeying through. And I don't have anything to be ashamed of anymore. It's deprogramming straight away.
yeah, it is, and we expect that. That's why it's this longer program where each month we check in what's coming up, and we do clearings during the calls. Like we'll be clearing, so we're prepared to hold sacred space for anyone who feels that way, because I always say you don't have to be perfect. Like that's not the point of this book. um it's interesting because we're in the mundane world, we have that mundaneness, but yet as these frequency keepers, we also have a foot into through the veil into the other world. So
Mm.
it's that really interesting balance. And sometimes we're so human, we're like, whoa, how could this be? And then sometimes we're like, whoa, we're like really channeling here. What's going on? And it's like that integration. It's a pretty sweet spot. And I always say, like, welcome the awkwardness, welcome the weirdness, welcome the uncomfortable. It's all welcome here. We're not here to judge, like, oh, you should be so profound and have it all together. That's not the point. Share your gifts and share your truth. And it's always sweet when you share a little bit of your stumbling along the way too. Because you know why? When somebody reads that chapter and they're like, wow, they stumbled, they fell, they got up, they brushed themselves off, they went up to another level, they stumbled, they fell, they rolled down the hill a little bit, they got up and they went even higher. It
Mm.
just keeps showing that it's okay to fall. Like that's the whole point of this kind of realm, is we're here to learn or remember, and it's perfectly fine. We don't have to put the pressure of being perfect. I want everyone to know you're welcome. You have so much space, to be yourself, to relax, to know that you're divinely loved and supported, and that we're going to do this. We're going to do this together, and we're going to do it. And it's going to be something that we cherish in our hearts forever. It's going to be a book that we are proud of, each and every woman, and that we can share with our communities. And that's going to go out into the world. And we're just going to allow that, because we're going to have gone through the processes also along the way where the triggers come up, the fear comes up, the little girl comes up,
Mm.
and we're going to deal with that, all of it. That's It's already set into the program, so we know how this goes. Every time I launch a book, my little girl gets so nervous, and I've done many of them, but I'm like, that's okay. That just means I'm so excited.
Yeah.
We're all so excited because it means so much to us, each one of us, and to the collective. So it's all good. It's all good.
That is so beautifully expressed, and I think that's going to put a lot of hearts and minds at ease. And yeah, it's part of the journey. It's part of the healing journey. Evolution is not a linear. It's a spiral up and down, expansion and contraction. And by the end of it, yes, you'll feel so much more liberation within your whole being that you faced a fear, because
Yeah.
so many of us have a voice that we need to express. I was never good as a young girl with my verbal expression, and I found so much solace in the written word.
Yes.
But then it came
Same.
to publishing, and it was like, oh, but can I put that written word out there? Really, can I do it? And, I know that for others reading your story and reading how you've gone up and fell and gone even further down and gone up again, it's so relatable that it helps others a great deal. And this is what this project is also about. Yeah, it's about as we heal as the authors heal, we're healing the collective, we're healing the new grids for the feminine.
That's so that you got it. Aho.
Sister. Beautiful. All right. Well, I'll have Radha's details down below, and you can feel free to contact her if you have any questions. You can apply through the link that she'll send you. And actually, we have an early bird price, yeah, that we're allowing just for my tribe. So if you see
Yeah,
that and you mention my name, you'll get the
yeah,
early bird price for this project, which is a quite a significant saving, which is a beautifully generous offer from Radha. So that's another thing. So she'll tell you all about that when you write to her. So if you've got the soul call, if your heart says yes, but your fear says no, listen to your heart, listen to your soul.
beautiful. Thank you so much for having me. Much love and blessings to you all. Know that you're welcome. You're more than welcome. In fact, we embrace you with open arms. So I do look forward to speaking with you, and I can't wait to hear about your story.
Thank you, Radha. Thank you for joining me. And yeah, I love you so much, sister. Thank you. I'll speak to you very soon.
Love you too. Thank you.